Imagine a place where you can buy some of the world's best second-hand golf clubs, some of the world's best valued golf clubs, and of course, some of the world's best used golf clubs for beginners, mid-handicappers, and low-handicappers alike. In today's video, I check out Golf Clubs for Cash, one of Europe's largest second-hand golf club retailers, to see just what I can find to help me play better golf in one of YouTube's biggest ever golf grudge matches. Okay guys, so the name of the game in today's video is to buy a set of golf clubs that mean something to me, that I remember using and that I can get on a little bit of a budget. Gaz set me this challenge, he's already bought his. He was supposed to tell me how much they were, he was supposed to tell me what he's got, and he's 2 hours late with the message. So I'm just going to give myself a budget and pick what I want. As you can see, it's always busy here, always lots of fantastic stock. And I absolutely love coming here. So we'll kick off with the putter and work our way up through the bag. Now, putters for me, I've had quite a lot of them. So if we start to look at the Odysseys and work our way through Taylormades all the way through to more modern day putters, which won't come into this because I haven't had a chance to use them. There's quite a lot of different ones. As you can see, we have a couple of Seymour putters, which I use a little bit. I think that's probably what Gaz might have in the bag, either that or some kind of Yes putter or something like that. But lots of putters to go at. I was a huge Scotty Cameron fan back in the day, but I've been known to use quite a lot. My dad always used to use ping putters, so I always like to come and try and find the ones just for a bit of nostalgic sake more than anything. As you can see, plenty of left-handed options as well. But where do we go for the putter? If I knew what budget I was working with, it would be easier, but again, Gaz is useless. So we're going one place. We're going one place, and I'm gonna go, I saw this earlier, this bad boy. Check out that. That reminds me of so many good memories playing at Wortley Golf Club as a junior golfer, and to get one of these in this condition, the old school Scotty Cameron Newport Studio stainless, I think is a rare find, and that's gonna set me back £269.99. It's got a nice red grip on there. I may well re-grip that just to get it proper old school and get it proper OG, but I'm really, really happy with that to kick off my bag to beat this guy. Chuck them in here for now and work our way through. So as you can imagine, there's lots of great deals here. They always have fantastic deals on at Golf Clubs for Cash. This is the Warrington store. There's also a store up in Edinburgh. I've heard a rumour there may be another one coming soon as well, so keep your eyes out for that. Lots of fantastic deals, even on new golf clubs. So if you are in the market, get yourself down here and have a look. We've gone putter, and we'll work our way up, so we'll go wedges next. But as you can see, lots of awesome stuff. Look at them. Who remembers? I think one of these sets might be the actual ones I used. Huge fan of those as well, if you're not quite as confident in your ball striking as Mr. Ricky Fowler, even though he wasn't that confident with those. He didn't even use them, did they? Even though they've got his name on, which is a little bit of a shame, really. Lots of fantastic Callaway clubs, lots of great Titleist irons, which we may come and revisit in a second, because there was a time I thought I was good enough to play them. Whether or not that turned out to be true, I'm not 100% sure. A little bit of a PXG offering now here at Clubs for Cash. That wasn't always the case, but now we're starting to see more and more traded in. Some fantastic, look at them. Look at them. They are some of the best irons I've tested this year. And you get these here secondhand as well. A couple of different generation irons, and of course, the OGs here as well. But we're going to talk wedges now, because for me, wedges are a club where I've always generally had one brand of wedge. Even when I try to go away from it, even when I try the pings, the Taylormades, the Callaways, the PXGs, whenever I think wedge, I think of one brand and one person. Who is that person? It has to be a certain Mr. Bob Vokey. Imagine having your name on this many golf clubs. Absolute insanity. As you can see, lots of different generation of clubs to go for. Now, I could quite easily have gone for like an SM10 and SM9 and really stuck it to Gaz. I wanted to kind of play fair a little bit with the challenge. You can see some really cool, funky ones. How good is that? You know what, that wasn't the one I was going for, but it might well. What shaft's in that? Dynamic Gold Tour issue, orange multi-compound grip, and that's going out at £64.99. I think that is an absolute steal with lots of ZFs on there. So that's obviously someone's initials. I love a rusty wedge as well. The one I was going to go for is this one, the SM4. Very, very similar idea, very, very similar grind, and that is £49.99. But having seen that, to be honest, I think it has to be that. Just for the sake of something a little bit different. You can see it's 58, it's 8 degrees of bounce with an M grind. That's definitely going in the bag. And to match up, we're going to go a standard old school Vokey spin mill wedge, 54 degrees. So we're going to go 54, 58. This was the OG. I think it's still just about legal. You can see that isn't very heavily used either, so we should get some really good spin on there. And this one is going to set us back again, just £49.99. So I boxed the wedges off there quite nicely. Two very similar wedges, but two very different wedges. I love a bit of versatility in that area of the bag. It can go in the bag. Very interested to see what Gaz is going to have picked, because I don't think Gaz is that good at this kind of thing. I'm going to put it out there. We have a putter, we have wedges, we now talk irons. Irons is very interesting. I did mention actually about a kind of Titleist set. So I had Titleist back in the day. I used to go and get fitted pretty much every year for the new MBs, thinking there was a huge difference there. Obviously you can see they do change generation on generation, but not by a big amount. And I actually thought about putting these in the bag. Where are they? Someone had them. Oh, I think they're gone. No, they're here. I thought about putting a set of AP2s in the bag, because when Jordan Spieth was in his heyday, these are the exact clubs he was using. So you can see they have that tungsten in the toe, they have that cavity back, plenty of perimeter weighting and forgiveness. And these are in a 115 stiff true temper shaft as well. They're a good price actually, these. £230 for a full set of Titleist AP2 clubs, I think is phenomenal value. So I'm going to just prop these here for now, because there's another set I want to talk to you about. And whenever you come here, you can quite quickly jump into the set you want, and you end up thinking, oh, I wish I'd spent a little bit more time looking. That's the key. If you can get to Golf Clubs for Cash, or if you do want to go on the website, take your time, get leisurely with it, and just think more about what you do want. There's not really many Callaway irons I would be looking at. If they had a set of X16 Pro Series, I could potentially be seen to go into those. There's a set of Steelhead somewhere, which I did see, but I don't think they're going to be the general. Where are they? I did see them. I'm so bad at looking for golf clubs and losing them. I don't think they were the generation that I would want anyway. Are they there? Hello? I think I've lost them. They must have gone. That's how quick stuff can go here at Clubs for Cash. So it's not going to be Callaways. Irons-wise, I used Titleist for so long, and then I actually had two sets at once of this certain set of irons, and they are bladed irons, but there's a certain story to them. So my mum and dad always had a house in Orlando. We used to go there for kind of Christmas and stuff. Really, really enjoyed it. And I found a set of these irons. They're actually in the kind of brushed finish, so the darker finish. And I bought them secondhand out in America. It was fantastic, really good memories. And I think I might still have a set at home somewhere, but they have a set here, and I think they're coming with me today. Remember them? They were like the really expensive ones, weren't they? That kind of like the new Callaway tie fusion potentially. They always put a tie on it and then just charge you a lot more money, don't they? Generally, that's what I find. I did see some here. Yeah. It was these. These were kind of what Sergio Garcia used as well. I always remember what the top pros use. I don't know why. It's a little bit weird, I know. They've seen better days, but they are, of course, the Taylormade MB TP irons. We've got multi-compounds on there. We've got rifle shafts in there. They could be absolutely brilliant. Are we going to go with them? I mean, there's not really any comparison, is there? Like, they're not going to have the forgiveness, but they certainly have the sentimental value. They have the story, and I think they have what it takes to beat Gary Martin. The faces all look pretty good as well, so the grooves aren't too worn. I think they can go in the back, go in there. So far, I think this isn't a bad setup at all. It's just starting to bring back so many memories like that. I might, to be honest, I might have to kind of cherish that, buy myself a head cover and really keep it. Look at the, oh yes. Right, now we need to talk. So there's a club that I kind of stumbled upon looking for a fairway wood, because I wouldn't usually use a hybrid. I think the irons have a 3-iron in them as well. Whether or not that'll go in the bag, a bladed 3-iron, it probably won't. But we're here. We find ourselves at the under £50 barrel, and this is something which you can get so many good, I mean, we're going to go straight to it. It's kind of poking out there. So many good offerings, so many good potential deals in there. You know, if you're not wanting to spend big money on golf clubs. So here we have the genuine OG Rescue mid 19 degree, and you can see that that isn't the one actually, because that's a regular shaft. It had a head cover on it. It was that one. I think it was that graphite shaft, stiff flex, and you can see that this is only going to set us back £33.99. Now if I take the head cover off this, you will see that it's a 16 degree. This thing's an absolute beast, and especially depending on the course we play. Say we play at Woolley Park Golf Club, for example, this would be the perfect club for off the tee to go kind of 240, 250. So for £33.99, I don't think you can really go wrong with that. The one thing I'm wary of is that the bag's very Titleist and Taylormade heavy. That's kind of where I spent a lot of my youth, in Titleist and Taylormade. Ping was more my dad's thing, and then we started to look at a little bit of Callaway, but not really towards the latter end of kind of working in the pro shop and stuff like that. So there's the hybrid, and I'm really, really impressed with that. For 33 quid, I might test that actually against a modern day hybrid and see just how much difference there is, because I don't think you'd see much at all. Here's Ray working nice and hard as always. What's that, mate? Red Bull? You don't need Red Bull. You don't work hard enough for Red Bull.
I'm running on 2 hours sleep.
Did you go out last night? I am hard work, very much. I'm quite hard work, especially with Roy. So that's in there, and this bag's starting to take shape. Whether or not I can use these, I don't know, but we will soon find out. Got the hybrid, got the irons, got the wedges, got the putter, fairway wood. Do we break the mold and go for a different brand? Because there's so many to choose from. See, I'd love to go for like a kind of Cobra, Mizuno, but for me, the era we're talking about here, they just didn't make that good a kind of drivers and fairway woods. I think now they've kind of caught up, they've realised they had to catch up, but like I don't think they did. Fairways, I never really used a Callaway fairway wood, not like hardly at all, to be honest. Like latterly, the Epic Flash stuff was pretty good, but stuff before that I just don't think really competed. I think Callaway are aware of that. I think they know that as well. That's why maybe there isn't as much as your Titleist and as your Taylormade. Fairway woods, I'm going to take it properly back, and I'm going to go to somewhere. Where was it? Remember that? Oh, look at that. That could have been the one, couldn't it, for the hybrid? Definitely. I had one of those as well. Where is... Because the 909, the 910, the 915, the 907, they're all very, very good. You can see there's lots of them here for you at good price. But I remember stuff like this, like the Pro Trajectory 904. What shaft's in that? Oh, it's the OG Speeder shaft in stiff as well. It's got a lambkin grip on it, and that £38.99. So, like, to be honest, that properly looks like it fits in that bag of dream, doesn't it? With those irons, with those wedges, with that putter. And realistically, it might not be the best forgiving fairway, might not be the best performing fairway wood, but for 38 quid, like I've kind of gone high end on the putter, haven't I? And then tried to rein it back a bit. I'd be interested to see how much Gaz's clubs cost. He said around £700-800, but I don't believe him because he doesn't know how much a pint of milk is, I don't think, in the UK. So, could I go a bit different? Would I go a little bit newer? Aldilla shaft, 75 grams stiff, £38.99, same price. So imagine, I mean, that's really good condition, isn't it, as well? Do I go a little bit newer? Which one would you go for? 906, 904, that's an F2, so it's slightly bigger than the standard. I'm going to go with that because I think I can play some really fun shots with that. I just love, I feel like I'm in my spiritual home here. I could literally buy all of it. That's the 300. We've got the driver left. Driver, what driver am I going for? It's not a Titleist, although I did have lots of them. I had the 915, I had the 930, I had the 910. I didn't have that because I spent a lot of time in Florida and it was big kind of tailor-made country there. And it was a little bit of a kind of OG number as well. Not quite as OG as it does get. I don't think it was that OG. Like that, oh, remember that? Old school M1, that was the absolute game changer, wasn't it? In fact, what shaft's in that? I'm a nightmare, you know. I do come and plan these videos and I just see stuff and I'm like, you know what, I'll just go with that as well. That's not the right shaft, so we'll keep that tucked away. It was actually one of the first clubs I ever tested on the tube, and it wasn't this, but this is certainly one of the best clubs I've ever tested. The new mini driver. There's 2 of them in stock if anyone wants one of those. I think it was, I mean, that was, oh, have they got like the smaller headed, that's too new though, isn't it? Let's go a generation back. This thing, I think it's this one, we've got a hazardous 6.0 shaft in there, and this will set you back £135.99, but I don't feel like that's bad. I don't feel like I'm losing any particular ground with this, because especially when we start to look at the condition that it's in, this is a pretty good condition, 9.5 Taylormade M3, and you look at that, I think that's more than enough to knock it past Mr. Martin on at least a couple of the holes. And just like that, I believe the bag is complete. That is some assortment of weapons to go into this challenge with. We can see that, as a recap, we have the Taylormade TP MB irons. We have 2 Vokey wedges from slightly different eras, but still very, very exceptional value. An old school Scotty Cameron Studio stainless putter, which might well just find its way into my bag full time. Titleist Pro Trajectory 904F Hybrid, the old school original Titleist Rescue Club, Taylormade Rescue Club, and of course the Taylormade M3 driver. What do you think?